The Call of Duty Black Ops Saga in 5 minutes. Sort of. Everything you need to know about the story so far. Spoiler alert. It's 1968, and the United States and Soviet Union are locked in the Cold War, and CIA operative Alex Mason has a lot of problems. He's tied to a chair, he doesn't really know where he is, and he's constantly asked what these numbers mean. Mason decides to retrace his steps and talk about his past few missions. Back in 1961, he and fellow operative Sergeant Woods and Chief Petty Officer Bowman botch an attempt on Fidel Castro's life. Mason ends up captured and is given to the Soviet General Nikita Dragovich, who ships him off to a Russian gulag where he meets former Russian soldier Viktor Reznov. Turns out that Reznov and Dragovich, now stay with us, these names get a bit tricky, served together after World War II. Their mission was to find Dr. Friedrich Steiner, a brilliant Nazi defector who was working on a nerve gas called Nova 6.
Do not point that weapon at me, Russian dog!
Unfortunately, Dragovich, Steiner, and another Russian soldier named Kravchenko double-crossed the Russian army, killed everybody except for Reznov, and then peaced out.
We are running out of time, my friend.
Back in the gulag, Reznov helps Mason escape to the US, and Mason's given a new mission by JFK himself: kill Dragovich. This mission drags on for multiple years, and eventually leads them to the Tet Offensive in 1968. Mason, Woods, and Bowman meet up with Reznov, who tells them that Nova 6 nerve gas is totally still a thing and ready to be unleashed on the United States. The team gets captured, again, Bowman dies, Woods and Kravchenko supposedly get blown up by a grenade, and Mason is saved by Reznov. Man, this guy is everywhere. Anyway, time to find Nova 6. CIA super agents Hudson and Weaver find out what the numbers mean. It's actually a broadcast that activates sleeper agents embedded in the United States, agents that will unleash Nova 6. New mission? Stop that now. So Hudson and Weaver find their way to the ex-Nazi Steiner's lab. Oh, and Reznov and Mason are there too. Now, stay with us here. According to Mason, Reznov kills Steiner. But there's a small problem with that because Hudson saw the whole thing and it was actually Mason who killed Steiner. That's because Reznov was never there and Mason might be a little bit crazy. Turns out that the Russian gulag was actually a brainwashing facility and that they wanted to brainwash Mason into killing JFK. However, Reznov, who is actually a fellow prisoner, was able to mess with the brainwashing process to turn Mason into his own personal killing machine. His goal was to have Mason kill Dragovich, Kravchenko, and Steiner. Unfortunately, Reznov never actually made it out of Russia. Fast forward back to the present, where we learn that it was Weaver and Hudson interrogating Mason all along. Mason's memories start to come back, and he remembers that the numbers are coming from a boat named the Rusalka, which is off of the coast of Cuba. They assault the boat, Dragovich gets taken out, the ship is sunk, and there are no more problems ever! Hooray! Oh wait, no. Scratch that last part. As it turns out, Frank, Woods, and Kravchenko survived that grenade explosion way back when. Frank eventually makes it back to the States and continues doing missions on behalf of the CIA. Unfortunately, in 1986, his entire team is captured by Raul Menendez, a Nicaraguan terrorist who hates the West with a passion because run-ins with the United States had left his sister badly burned and his father dead. To save Woods, Hudson gets Alex Mason out of retirement, despite Mason's son David's protests.
You said you'd never go back to the army. You promised me.
Hudson and Alex rescue Woods, and the three continue to look for Menendez. Along the way, they run into their old enemy Kravchenko, the only guy on Reznov's kill these dudes list that didn't die. Mason freaks out a little due to the remnants of his Soviet brainwashing, and Kravchenko ends up dead. The trio finally track down Menendez in his Nicaraguan home, and Woods makes a very bad decision that ends with Menendez's innocent sister getting killed. Menendez is also supposedly killed, but actually survives thanks to Panama's dictator Manuel Noriega. This is bad news for everyone. Fast forward again to 1989. Woods, Mason, and Hudson are on a mission to discredit Noriega. However, the entire thing is actually a trap set by a very pissed off Menendez. Hudson is captured and forced to tell Woods to unknowingly shoot Mason. Now, depending on where Woods shoots Mason, this will either kill him or just wound him. Menendez then shows up and cripples Woods, kills Hudson, and reveals that he has also kidnapped Mason's son, David. Woods and David are allowed to live, but David represses all of these memories so he doesn't remember what happened. Woods then raises David as his own, but never tells him the true story. Fast forward one more time to the year 2025. David is now a member of SEAL Team 6, and both he and his buddy Harper are on a mission to find Menendez, who is now the leader of a global movement named Cortes DA that wants to violently destroy capitalism. With the help of an aging Woods undercover agent called Farid and another soldier named Salazar, David and Harper piece together Menendez's violent history and learn of his plan. A young woman called Karma has developed something called a Celerium device that can basically hack into anything. Like, say, the entire United States drone fleet. The plan is to use the drones to attack a meeting of G20 leaders in LA, destroy various cities around the world, and cause economic chaos. To access the US defense network, Menendez pretends to get captured, and it's revealed that Salazar is actually a no-good dirty traitor who is helping Menendez the entire time. Everything goes to hell, Karma either dies or gets spared, Salazar is taken out by Harper, and LA gets attacked. SEAL Team 6 traces the hacking signal to Haiti, but Menendez does something crazy and blows up all the drones. Apparently, he wants Cortes DA to rise up when America's military is weak, a message that is set to be delivered should Menendez die. Regardless, Mason either kills or apprehends Menendez. If Karma survives, she's able to stop the Solarium device and is hailed as a hero, and Menendez is forced to watch Jimmy Kimmel in his jail cell. As for David Mason, depending on what actually happened to Alex, he may be reunited with his father, who's been missing for 30 years. And Woods, well, Woods just keeps being Woods.
Oh, you got a couple of f***ing broads. Work this shit on your own. Need some smokes.
But of course, war never truly ends, and Menendez's drone strikes have changed the face of the world. With questions of how technology should be used in the military, a new age of global warfare will rise from the ashes.